Same with Love is Blind when they do the reveals and they open up the doors and you're just looking at each other.
But it's such a red flag when it's the man who's disgusted at the woman. That's misogyny. That's like that's dangerous.
Guess what week it is this week?
Revelations week on EastEnders.
I actually was talking about Love Island starting again this week. Um,
Oh, okay. So different type of reality TV.
is EastEnders reality TV?
Somehow. Soap opera drama. It's based on real life.
Yeah, I guess it's a different kind of, yeah, different kind of reality, as you said. Yeah, no, I am excited for Revelations week, in EastEnders. It just came out of nowhere. They just started advertising, doing their little trailers.
Trailers, yeah, yeah. It better live up to it because I'm sick of these new writers. Sorry, this current band of writers promising things and not delivering. Like East
Yeah.
Christmas last year was shit.
But what's
I
her
don't even
name?
remember it.
What's her name? What's Kat's daughter, Zoe, the actor who
Yeah,
plays her, was sitting on an interview talking about how it's the best Christmas EastEnders there ever has been.
last year's
Yeah,
before it came out.
before it came out.
See, they just
Oh,
tantalize us,
you're
make false
lying.
promises, don't deliver. What was it? I can't remember the storyline. What was it? Remind me.
Something about her son. I don't know. She was looking for them.
Oh, was it when Jasmine killed Richard? Is his name even Richard?
Anthony. See, it was so shit. It was actually so shit. And I actually felt sorry for Kat being involved in such a shit story like that because she's such a good
I don't
actress.
know why they brought her back to do this to her character, because also that's another thing that they kept tantalizing us with Cat's return.
You're talking
And then
about
it
Zoe.
came, oh my God, I'm talking about Zoe. Have I been saying Cat the whole time?
No, because I said I felt bad for Kat because, yeah, but
Oh,
also
okay.
I don't really feel that bad for Zoe.
No.
But yes, you're right. And they keep doing it with other characters as well, teasing their
Yeah.
return, dropping them
Yeah.
in just for bullshit.
Right. What was the point of bringing Whitney in for that restaurant conversation
Why was
last
Cora
week? Like,
there for
why was
Christmas
Cora
dinner?
there?
Or was it? I don't even
Exactly.
know what dinner it was. It's just,
I think, do you know what? Ever since the 40th anniversary,
mm,
they started doing in the lead up of to the 40th anniversary, and in that whole period they kept bringing people from the past as if that's the whole show. It's not just about bringing people, bringing familiar old faces. Like, give us a story with them, give us a story, like give us a reason for them being there, make them the catalyst of some key event. Like,
mhm.
don't just drop them in to be like, hey, and then you have the laughing and clapping track in the background of the audience being so excited to see them. Like, we actually also want a story. Nigel, they brought him back just to kill him off. But at least they did give us something there. Like, there was a message, there was a story. It tied into Phil's storyline. Like, you have to embed it into key characters as well. Don't bring old people in to give them to pair them with fringe characters that we still haven't got any investment in, like Oscar and his twins.
Shut that whole storyline down right now. So for
Pause this whole thing
those
right now.
for those who don't watch EastEnders, well done. First of all, for keeping away from the shit. But second of all, Oscar is a character who is Max Brannan's son. Everyone knows Max Brannan, whether you've watched EastEnders or not, you know him. Okay. His son is now involved with his girlfriend, Jasmine. He's got a girlfriend.
Who is Zoe's daughter,
Yes, his
who
Zoe's
is Cat
daughter.
Slater's daughter.
Daughter. So that's Cat Slater's granddaughter.
Yeah.
And so they're together. They love each other. They can't keep their hands off of each other. Jasmine's twin brother now comes to the square. And before Oscar knew that Jasmine's twin brother was Josh, the
That
guy that,
Josh was Jasmine's twin brother.
yeah,
So Oscar
he,
met Josh not knowing that he was Jasmine's twin brother because they were
yes,
also adopted and separated at some point.
yeah, he sleeps with him. Not while they're together. They broke up for a bit.
Oscar's bi,
Yeah,
by the way,
Oscar's
if that
by.
wasn't implied.
We're really good at storytelling. And Jasmine at this point had killed Anthony. She's run off. They've broken up. He slept with Josh. Josh comes back on the square. He realizes Josh and Jasmine are twins. Why is he still sleeping with both of them?
Yeah.
Anyway, I saw that to say that EastEnders, you will always be famous.
Literally, literally. And for those of you who don't watch it and used to watch it, where's your staying power? Where's your grit?
Yeah, the lack of loyalty is alarming. You want to clown us and laugh at us that we're watching it. It's 30 minutes, 4 times a week.
But exactly.
But
exactly.
find the time
And
and do
sometimes it's
it.
good.
Yeah,
Sometimes every now and then it's good.
exactly.
Every once in a while, you actually enjoy it.
Yeah. There's like,
Just like Arsenal.
what? I thought you were gonna say Love
Just
Island.
like Arsenal, another thing that you had to commit to, stay,
Oh,
work through the bad times, and then every once in a while they give you a reason to feel proud. And this weekend we enjoyed at the parade. Arsenal gave us reason to feel proud. I'm taking it from the Champions League final because even that, I think we smashed it.
I think
I
so
do.
too. I think they played really
Everyone's expecting us
well.
to get completely thrashed, and that didn't happen. So listen,
Yeah,
when we take it to 30 minutes extra time and penalties, we gave them a good run.
100%.
We'll get them next year. But yeah, Arsenal's one comparison, but you were actually talking about what week were you talking about?
Love Island.
This week is Love Island starting. And that's another thing where every once in a while you actually enjoy it, but most of the time you actually
You
hate it and you're pissed
hate
off
it.
and you want to get in there, put me on that island so that I can tell every single person in there why they deserve the hate they're going to get when they leave. I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, but a lot of the time I do think, get me in there, get to me in there. I just want to give them a telling off because sometimes they're not getting the enough telling
Yeah,
off.
exactly. Especially the people who were just going in there terrorizing everyone and people don't want to speak up. Belle from last year's All Stars.
Terrorized the
No
whole
one
villa.
told her properly about herself.
They were all quaking in their boots, Og.
People
You
only came in to tell Lucinda about herself, and all she was doing was playing. Like she was
exactly.
just playfully being annoying. Belle was being actually aggressive and scary.
Yeah, it was very, very scary. But have you seen the discourse around Love Island? It hasn't even started yet, but have you seen it?
Oh, do you know what? I've actually kind of detached a little bit. I've seen some tweets of people pulling up pictures and then also like comparing it to their Instagram photos and comparing it to their VT, like the videos that they put out, like the Love Island official page puts out of each new cast member.
Mm,
But I've just kind of skipped past those posts because I'm like, what are you guys talking about right now? When we get to watch the thing, then we can evaluate how we feel about each contestant. It's not about
exactly.
going through their Instagram page to glean who they are. But
Well,
what is actually what have am I missing out on actually some good tea?
not really. I think there's this whole basically Love Island UK is starting this week, but Love Island USA is also starting this week. So there's a lot of contestants, new
Oh,
contestants that people are looking into. And there's a big discussion around background checks and how well producers are doing background checks and what should constitute being allowed to be on the show and what shouldn't. And so, with the announcement of the Islanders, people have been going on their Instagram, like you said, looking at them, looking into who they are, what they're like, without actually watching it yet. And some of the things that people have found is one of the UK contestants, I think, might have gotten into an argument with someone on social media and said something homophobic or did something that could
oh,
be construed as homophobic. Then
male or
on
female contestant?
female contestant. And on the
Oh God.
US side, they found out that some of the contestants might be Trump supporters. And then there's this whole thing of like, well, that's not really a big background check thing. A producer can find out that you're a Trump supporter and still let you on the show. Like, that's not going to stop them from putting people on the show. If anything, it might actually
Bring
encourage
more
that.
controversy, yeah.
Exactly. So there's people discussing on either side, like the producers don't do enough with background checks, and then other people are like, what actually are you guys expecting from these producers? What kind of background checks? It can't just be that they pick people that align with everything that you deem is right. Like that's not really how
Exactly.
this goes. And then we the public do have the power to vote people off.
True.
So we
True. So we can just
can
get him out first week.
exactly.
Although they do really manage how they when they give us that power and when they don't to make
Hmm.
sure when they know that we're trying to gun for a particular contestant that they might want to keep in because they bring views, then yeah, they will often make it like a the other contestants vote, or
Hmm.
if you lose the challenge you leave, but not the audience vote determining who leaves. I do actually kind of have a counter to that point about producers accepting Trump supporters and that not being a valid reason not to let people on the show. And I'm gonna compare it to Married at First Sight. I don't know if you've seen the news recently around what's happened with Married at First Sight. There was a panorama episode about the series, and now every single episode of it has been taken off Channel 4. Every single episode of Married at First Sight UK has been taken off. Do you know about this?
Yes, I have seen it. I've seen
Yeah.
the stories, yeah.
For context, Married at First Sight, the UK franchise, there was a panorama episode about it. I think it was last week or the week before, where so there are three female contestants who are wives on the show that have essentially, I think they're suing Channel 4. They're initiating some sort of legal action against Channel 4 for failure in safeguarding, reporting, and this is a trigger warning here, reporting that they faced abuse during their time on the show. So, including sexual violence, unwanted sexual contact, and that's by the contestant they were paired with. So, the husband that they married at first sight on the show. One of them, I think only one of them has actually used her name and her face, and we know exactly who she is. And I don't know if you watched that season of Married at First
Yeah.
Sight UK with Shona.
Yeah, I did. I did. I hated her husband on the show. Hated.
Right. And it was so clearly an abusive man. And as in, I can't speak to his physical conduct, but from what we watched, we saw that there was manipulation going on, there was emotional abuse, there was control. We watched how he broke her down throughout their time on the show. And actually, when it was time, the reason that they left is because they actually wanted to stay. They
Mm.
both wrote stay, I think, or at least one of them wrote stay. And typically, what happens is if one person writes stay, the rules are that you both stay and work on it for another week. But the experts said, no, you're not staying. It's not safe. We are not allowing you to continue this relationship on the show. And we strongly advise you to not continue the relationship when you leave because they'd seen the dynamics at play. They'd seen the way that she had changed and the way that he was kind of policing her every move. He'd gotten into her head. It was quite horrible to witness. But they did stay together, and yeah, so she was reporting and alleging like sexual abuse from him. And then there were two others as well from different seasons.
But
But
she
the
she
one,
didn't. They stayed together for a bit, and then ended up with someone else on the show outside of the thing.
yes,
So
yes, that's
they're
true.
not together right now.
No, 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 they're not together right
Afterwards
now.
they continued outside of the show.
Yeah.
And then they did break up. Thank God, because he was dark.
He was awful. You could feel from his whole energy, and that's what brings me on to the Love Island Australia. No, not Love Island. Sorry, Married at First Sight Australia just finished the most recent series from this year. Bunch of lunatics, by the way, craziest cast I've ever seen. I know people say that Married at First Sight Australia is way crazier than UK, and I agree with that. But this particular cast, they were all completely off their head. I don't know what was wrong with them, how they casted. But what they did as well, what you could see was happening is producers or the casting directors choosing characters based on two extremes
Hmm.
sometimes, like looking for extreme characters and to pair them with someone who they have some overlapping, characteristics with. But ultimately it is for the plot. So
Yeah.
one of the guys, his name is Joel. He is a Trump supporter through and through. And he's also extremely misogynistic, believes that women should be seen and not heard. Like this is what he says in not so many words. He wants a submissive wife. He's very open. He wants his wife to be submissive. Do not talk back to me, as in, it's my life and you are living in it in the home, holding it down. They go ahead and pair him with a woman who works in real estate. She's like killing it in her career. She does believe in like some of Trump's views, but she's just way more diplomatic, way more like I guess a bit more moderate. But she does say things like doesn't like woke culture, doesn't like snowflakes, that kind of thing. But watching their relationship and the dynamics that form, I can easily see how this could be an unsafe situation for her, like
Mm.
being with a man who really has these views about women. But for us, the audience, it's just supposed to be a fun storyline. But for her, who's living in it, and actually, I think it was Shannon, an ex-contestant from Love Island, Shannon, who now works in like she used to be a beauty pageant, or she does. I think she does do pageants still, but she also advocates a lot for women and usually around violence against women and girls. Like she's
Mm.
very, very active, and I love her. Like I've really enjoyed following her since she's been on Love Island.
I think it's Sharon
Um,
Graffas or something.
yes,
Gratz.
yes,
Begins
yes,
with a
but she's
G.
actually recently been engaged.
and
Yeah.
pregnant. She's
Yeah, she's
expecting.
pregnant. She's expecting. Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing, genuinely. Someone who does real good work with their platform and
Hmm.
work that she'd started before she even came because she was very active with Labour. I don't know if she still aligns with Labour, but in any case, she does amazing work. She put out a post talking about the difference between Love Island and Married at First Sight and also the similarities. But in terms of safeguarding, she pointed out that Love Island and shows like Big Brother, where you're putting strangers together in a space, they're recording them 24/7. At least as a woman, you have the protection that this is on camera. So you expect, obviously, people do claim that they forget that the cameras are rolling or whatever, but you have that layer of like, okay, people aren't going to do certain things or temper their behavior somewhat because they are on TV. They're aware they're on TV. I think it's a bit different with Big Brother because I guess it might be easier to forget or not think that they're filming you at that particular time. But Love Island, they know when the filming times are. It's very much throughout the night they're being recorded as well. Whereas Married at First Sight, they're literally living together in hotels and in apartments, and a lot of that time they're not being recorded. There's no film crew. A lot of that time they're living their lives, and then they'll have the dinner parties, the challenges, the commitment ceremonies where they're being recorded, but the cameras aren't just there. The camera crew aren't often there, so a lot of these moments where women are at their most vulnerable are happening with no witness or no recording. So you've put this person in to live with a stranger and share their space with a stranger. And also, the setup is that this is your wife, this is a marriage. So it also kind of affects the boundaries there. But yeah, my point being, after that whole long tangent, my point is that whilst it's just their political views and people should be allowed on the show regardless of what their political views are, up to a certain point, like if there's an extreme view directly oppressing people or directly going to pose a threat to others, then yes, they shouldn't be cast. But if you're just a Trump supporter, some people might say it doesn't matter. But how does that play out? How does that present? How is that going to impact the way that you view other people and treat other people? And are you putting other contestants at risk when you're putting them to live with someone who may not think of them as someone who deserves to have rights? Like, we're talking about Trump supporter. Trump has
Mm.
done so much harm. If you support that, what does that actually mean about how you see other people?
Yeah, exactly. And I think what annoys me, back to your point about the putting people together with completely opposite ends of the spectrum with Married at First Sight, is with reality a lot of the time. We saw it with America's Next Top Model and the documentary that
Mm.
came out about that. They constantly wanted to push the boundaries, push the boundaries, push the boundaries, but audiences are still going to watch it. Especially with
Mm.
Married at First Sight. Married at First Sight is such a interesting experiment of like random people put together. How are they going to be married after just seeing each other? Like it's quite a crazy concept anyway. So you don't need to have someone at complete opposite ends of the spectrum. You can have people that are compatible on paper and just see how it plays out because that's what relationships will be like anyway. And
Exactly.
there was that jokey TikTok trend of Married at First Sight where those girls were putting on the Australian accents and going, he doesn't want to have children and he hates kids. And she's a primary school teacher and she loves children, but they both love tiramisu. It's a match. And it was
That is
like, that's
literally
actually,
that is literally it. That's literally it. Oh my
it's,
God, it really pisses me off when they'll put someone who already has a child with someone who doesn't want kids. And then there's a whole build up about when they're going to tell them that when they're going to break it to them that they have kids. And I'm like, why would you ever put people in this position when we're talking about children
I
as
just,
well?
I want to speak to these producers. I want to be like, what kind of person are you to go into that line where you're like just puppeteering this whole thing where actually you can just have people that could be compatible and they'll argue
Right.
over the dishes or
Right.
space or who takes the duvet. There's going to be things that people cash on anyway.
They want a storyline where it's like they hated each other at the start and now they've come together and the experiment works and all the challenges that they have to do are very effective. They want that enemies to lovers storyline. And I don't know that I've ever seen it really succeed on Married at First Sight, but to be honest, I haven't really watched that many seasons to be able to confirm. But yeah, that whole thing about they both love tiramisu, that exactly is how they make the judgment.
I want to hear from the love expert. Is that what they call them? Love experts?
Hmm.
Genuinely, though, how do you actually feel about it? Because Paul C. Bronson alludes to it sometimes when he's interviewing people on his podcast. We need to talk.
What does he say?
He'll just say, "Oh yeah, like I work in reality. I know what it's like, and I know how producers can get involved. I know how unreal reality can be, and that sort of thing." And we know what his background is in reality TV. It's Married at First Sight. It's his main
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
And Celebs Go Dating, does he do that?
Yeah, he does.
And those sorts of shows where it's just so,
About love.
so, yeah, about love, but extremely heavily produced and manipulated, especially
And actually
Celebs Go
about
Dating.
drama, yeah.
Yeah, when Jonathan come anyway. I don't know.
Exactly what you said. Like the concept itself is going to give us some sort of drama. In fact, if you've ever watched the earlier seasons of Married at First Sight, the first one that I watched was Married at First Sight USA season one. Did you watch that? And it had Doug and oh, what's her name? Jamie. Doug and Jamie. And she cried when she saw this man on the other side of the aisle. She cried. She actually collapsed into a ball after doing her
Oh,
vows.
wait.
She
I
fell to the
just,
ground, Chid.
when she saw him
Yeah, she did
at
not
the end
like
of
the way she looked. She was
it.
like, what's going on with his moles? Where's his hair? Like he was balding. She was thoroughly and utterly disgusted. That's the only word I can use. She couldn't
Wow.
believe it. She was fucked off. She was upset. No one could talk to her. Like it was the worst day of her life. Today, that was
So
what
real.
that was how many that was like over a decade ago. Today, still married.
Oh,
Four kids, including a pair of twins that they recently just had like either this year or like the end of last year.
oh yes.
They're
Just
so happy together. And I think what happened is she did not want to hear a bar of what this man had to say. She didn't want to look at him. She couldn't hide the disgust in her face when she talked to him. She
mm.
was so mean to him. But he was a stranger. And I guess, yeah, she was just so overwhelmed. And I think back then it was legal as well. I think back then it was actually a legal wedding.
Oh,
I think.
really?
Yeah, I
Because
might be chatting shit, but I think that was the case.
is that the same case? Is that the same as Love is Blind, where they have to get, is that a legal marriage?
Do you know what? I have no idea with Love is Blind. I have to assume yes, but because Lauren and Cameron are married, husband and wife.
Yeah, and the other pair where she was like, bitch, you're shisty.
Yeah, they
They're
are
still
married.
married.
Yeah, yeah, for real. So unless they had to do a like court wedding or register it separately after the show, I don't know. But season one, USA, Doug and Jamie. The drama came from watching the gap between her absolutely despising him based on his looks and then falling in love with him towards the end because his personality was so great. Such a funny guy, so charming and charismatic, so caring. Yeah, he won her over and he was so patient as well. Like she'd just be looking at him like ew, and he would just be like, don't worry, girl. You're gonna love me. Trust me. At the end of this, you're gonna love me. He'd always be like, I know you're having a hard time right now, and I'm gonna respect that, but don't worry. I'll win you over. And he
That's so
sure did.
cute.
And it was really, really attractive actually seeing his that level of confidence. He wasn't pulling a strop. He wasn't being upset because she was upset. Like he was just like, do you know what? He just continued being himself and he believed in his source.
I rate that
And he
from him.
just, yeah, yeah. And they're still together. They have a great relationship with a girl, a boy, and two twin boys. So it's adorable.
Does he still have moles and is bald?
He does still have moles, but I think what happened is he grew out his facial hair.
Oh, there you
And
go.
that did a lot. He got a beard and a moustache, and that did a lot. One, it covered up the moles. Two, it just did that has that effect that facial hair does have on men, where it just
Yeah.
chisels out their face a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. That's so funny. I can't imagine. You can't look at me disgusted at the hour.
hello,
I'll be like,
hello.
shut this shit down. Hello.
You actually, I not
I'm grabbing the camera off of the cameraman and smashing
right,
it onto the altar.
right,
Be like, everyone, get
right.
out, get
I'm
out.
lunging at the cameraman. How dare you record this right now? How dare you record me being humiliated? And also, as a woman,
Yeah.
having a man look at you disgusted, that's not the way around it should be.
Yeah,
That's not the way around it
don't
should
be
be.
disgusted. Do not dare be disgusted. Same with Love is Blind when they do the reveals and they open up the doors and you're just looking at each other.
But it's such a red flag when it's the man who's disgusted at the woman. That's misogyny. That's like that's dangerous. That's dangerous to the woman. Because I have to say, when a man doesn't find you attractive and actually actively thinks that you're disgusting, they treat you like pure shit. And
Yeah.
I know I was saying that Jamie was gagging and screaming when she had to look at Doug, but she was she was just being cold. Men can actually leave you out in the cold. They can actually push you in front of a train. But Love Island, will you be tuning in this year?
I will. I'll tune in and out. It's a big commitment. I know we said we commit to EastEnders, but as I said, it's 30 minutes, four
It's barely
times a
30 minutes as
week.
well. Yeah.
Exactly. It's about 26 minutes,
20,
four
yeah.
times a week. Love Island is a whole hour every night. You only get Saturday night off. It's a
And
lot
also
of
with
work.
exactly with the EastEnders, like you can miss the whole week and then catch up with it over 3 and a bit hours over the weekend.
Easy. Yeah.
Easy. Whereas Love Island, if you miss the week, everyone's watching at the same time. You're gonna see who got kicked out. You're gonna see that there was a big argument. You're gonna see all the clips. It's just doesn't worth it.
And nowadays, there's a lot of people that just go, "Oh yeah, I'm watching it on TikTok. I'm watching it online," because you
Hmm.
just catch up with the clips, as you said. You see the
Hmm.
discourse, and you make a judgment based on the 2 minutes total that you've watched of
Hmm.
that day. So honestly, I don't know. I'll see what the first episode is like. The first week though is normally shit. It's normally so boring. I've seen what the contestants like. I won't say too much on that because
Oh
listen.
God, are they not giving?
I told you I'm not going to say too much on that. I don't want to.
So they're all Doug, I'll go.
No, it's not even that. It's actually more their personalities.
Oh,
Which,
really? But
yeah,
don't you feel like they've gotten worse as the seasons have gone on? Because everyone knows now what they're here to do.
100%. And then some people have come on because they want to be the villain. They've come on because they want to make a splash. They're like, I
Oh,
just need to be a big personality, whether it's not liked or
good or
hated.
bad, yeah.
It doesn't matter because audience opinions swing and swap and change anyway. So as long as I'm making an impact and I stay on for long enough, people will end up liking me or my audience will grow anyway. And then bish bash bosh, brand deals. And before you know it, they'll all be at Coachella. And listen, love that for them. Love that for them. But the format's just a bit dead now.
Agreed. There was that one season where the first week was good. I think from day one they made it good, and I can't remember what they did.
Yes. What was this? But that was the one where you were like, I bet the producers are like buying each other donuts and
Yeah,
high-fiving and just having
yeah, patting
the
each other's back at the end of the day. Like it was
yeah.
so sunny that year as well. Like I know they're in the beer garden every single day, just enjoying the success of that one season. But I feel like with Love Island, I really take it case by case. It's really season by season. This year, I think I will do my approach where I just hang back and just wait. I'll see when to jump in, if ever. I'll just gauge what's happening online and see what the contestants are saying. Is the drama good? Are the black women being treated like shit? Like what's actually going on? And then I'll decide whether I want to jump in or not. I don't know. If I'll be watching it from day one. I don't think so.
I can't actually remember the last time I watched it from day one, to be completely honest.
Mm.
And also, there's a lot happening this summer. You're saying we've got UK Love Island, US Love Island, the World Cup. I think that's it, you know.
And you're not going to be watching US Love Island, so I don't even know why you added that to the list.
Yeah, I've never watched a US Love Island, but people are saying that's where it's
They're
at.
good. They're good. They're good. I've watched two. I didn't actually watch the one with the PPG Powerpuff Girls. I did watch. I think I watched like two or three. And I may have watched the one that Yemen was in. It may have been that one that I watched. Thank God he cut his hair, by the way.
Shut up, Og. I was literally just about to say that.
Thank God he cut his hair. I don't know if it was all the comments likening him to Bart Simpson.
It was definitely the comments likening him to that since.
Do you know what? Like this whole like Love Island being the gateway to success, social media success, and content creating an influencer, having that influencer career, the trade-off is quite extreme. Like the hate that they get, the all the noise, the fandoms that are emerging now. I think ever since Love Island US, there are fandoms for each contestant. So you'll have hate from like the rival fandom. It's so weird.
And who
Why
are
are there
these
fandoms
people?
over Love Island contestants?
Yeah.
they're our age, shit. Like these are adult human
It
beings.
can't be. I
It
can't.
is, I'm telling you.
I myself, I don't know if people know this about me, but I myself used to be a fangirl, fully fledged TW family.
The
Okay,
wanted.
The Wanted. I loved them. I went
Yeah.
to see them at the airport. I met them at all sorts of places. I've had their book. I had their signature. Like every album, I've got it. Every signing, I'm there. Even still, I wouldn't be defending them online. And we rivaled One Direction a lot, even though they were in completely different leagues and completely different.
Stop. That's so funny. I didn't know that the One Direction were your rivals.
They were, yeah, Directioners versus
That's
the TW.
funny.
Um, I would never sit online being like, oh, and Lily's this and he's shit at singing and this, that. I would never do that because I'm not senseless. And that was me at 15 years old, 13 to 15, I think it was the biggest years of that.
I
And
don't know,
these
Chids.
people are our age doing that?
I know that they're definitely 20s and at least 20s. I know that. I know that. I've
That
seen
scares
them.
me. That scares
Yeah,
me.
it's freaky. Anyway, so life update. I'm no longer living in Chids Flat. I've moved out and I've moved across the road.
Why, when I saw your room emptied for the first time, it felt like, that scene in Fresh Prince where Will
Or
Smith
they're
is
standing
walking.
in the empty.
I was like, oh.
Or like Friends or Hannah Montana, the last
Yeah.
episode. But I'm literally across the road. It's crazy. Like I'm looking out my window. Would I be able to see you? Your
Uh,
window is not positioned here, but I can see
no.
your building.
Yeah, you'd be able to see my building, but not my window. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It honestly felt like it went really quickly, but also really slowly at the same time.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I think towards the end, it just started flying.
But that's what happens when it's like you
Yeah.
have to start preparing. You've actually got shit to do, then suddenly time flies.
Exactly, exactly. Move-in day was crazy because my stuff got delivered from the storage place. Thank God I'm reunited with all my things, but also what the fuck? Why do I have so many things? I'm actually shook. I'm seeing things that should never have made it over onto this side. It should have been binned as soon as. But you know what? Packing was just so stressful that it just became put everything in a bag and get it in that storage unit because I do not have time to sift and sort through all of these papers and I cannot keep stopping to read my journals. Do you know I did that when I was unpacking and when I say unpacking, we have barely even scratched the surface when it comes to unpacking. Like the kitchen stuff is barely all out. It's just the relevant boxes are in the relevant rooms. That's as far as we've gotten. But as I was trying to find something to wear for the parade, I stumbled upon my box of all my journals. And of course, I sat and read my journals. And I was like literally getting ready for the parade, had to leave in like 15 minutes, hadn't had breakfast. And I was just like, whoa, is this what I was talking about in 2020, 2017? And then there was a point where it goes into lockdown. It's like
Ooh.
January of 2020. And then the next entry is like March or April 2020. And I'm like, we've been in lockdown for a week. It was just so interesting to read. But yeah, unpacking is going to be an ordeal, and I really need like 3 weeks leave from work to be able to really, really do what I want to do in this place. Get all my stuff. We don't have a bed. We're sleeping on a blow up mattress. Our bed's arriving. Actually, the day that this episode comes out, my bed will be here and set up. Thank God. But until then, we're blow up mattressing it. I've got a little setup for my desk to work from home. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're kind
I
of
can.
our bathrooms like very much giving wash bags. I feel like we're in a hotel. It feels like we're staying in a hotel. We're like living out of our suitcases still. I can't wait to be comfortable. Like it's been so long of not being, set and having my things and knowing where they all are and being in my routine and feeling like I've got my life. So I'm really looking forward to that. And also another huge life update. I'm living with a man. I've moved in with Alex, so we're living together. Yeah, so far so good. I don't know what to say on that point, just that I did have a lot of fears about it.
Like what?
Um, I think just sharing your space with someone and someone who you didn't grow up with, so it's like it's not a sibling, it's not a friend. Like obviously we get along like best friends, but it's different. I don't know. And he's a man as well. It's the man aspect,
That is a big one.
what that comes with, and like what is it going to do to our relationship dynamics. Like I really enjoy our relationship obviously as it is, I think it will make us stronger, but I think it's just the experiences you have to get to that point where you're stronger. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the disagreements, the compromises, I don't want to compromise. Let me start there. I don't want to compromise. I want it to be my way. I want it to be my way. I think it should be, but I know and understand that there will have to be compromises and accepting things. And I really don't like doing that. And patience. Oh my God, I struggle with patience.
Literally same. That's why when it got to unloading all of our stuff, I did manage to do it in like 2 days because I was like, I don't want to be in a situation where I don't have my things and I go into the
Hmm.
kitchen and I don't know where anything is and I go and have a shower and I don't know where my sponge is and like
Hmm.
just little things like that that will just like set you up for a shit day because you're just like, where are
Hmm.
all my stuff?
Yeah.
But living with a man, oh my God, how many years have
Yeah.
I been doing it now? 2.5.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one and it's and
Do you
it's
know what? Ideally, we would have had the weekend to unpack, but obviously our weekend has been so busy. Like we moved on the Friday and then Saturday plans, Sunday plans.
mm,
So it's only and then Monday I've logged straight into work. Tuesday I have work. I've got Wednesday work on Wednesday as well, and then Thursday and Friday I have off. So I have a full 4 days to really get things done. And also because we don't have a bed, we don't have a chest of drawers, which we also need. There are certain storage solutions that we need to be able to unpack, like our clothes and stuff. Like we need to go to IKEA and get those like boxes that you can put in your wardrobe. I've got my them for my stuff, but Alex doesn't have any. We need to get things like toilet roll holders, a rack to dry your dishes,
which by the
just
way,
things like that.
toilet roll holders, bathroom bins,
Hmm.
toilet brushes that don't look like janky and plasticky and
I need
cheap.
that
They're
silicone one.
so
Yeah,
expensive.
expensive.
They're
Yeah.
so
Hmm.
expensive. Just to deck out those three items, you're looking at like, I don't know, a lot of money. A lot more than you would expect for something that's literally cleaning your shit.
Yeah,
It's just
bath
not.
mats.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
I hate that period of like all your stuff is everywhere. And then there's also the adjustment of, yeah, living with someone that you've never lived with before. So you're balancing
Hmm.
that. And that's what makes it harder because you're also a little bit stressed because you're working and all of your stuff is everywhere and you don't know where your things are. And then, yeah, everything's long and difficult. And then you're also trying to adjust with someone else being in your space and
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. But it is, yeah, it is also very fun, as you probably
Hmm.
already know.
Yeah. Because I think ideally, or typically, what I would have done after like a big move or a big change or like a really busy day is just bed down by myself, have a bit of solo time, like recharge. And when I say bed down, like I literally mean the bed is a key part of that comfort. I love being in my bed. So not having a bed is quite annoying. And then also we're both adjusting together. So it's like it's not like I can go away and take myself away to chill for a second. And I can actually, I can chill on the sofa. But yeah, I am excited. I'm looking forward to getting really, really comfortable and really settled here and seeing how our life just getting into those patterns and routines together and what things look like. But something I need to stop doing is like projecting into the future what my life is going to look like and what our relationship is going to look like based on very small, minor things that he does.
Mm.
I feel like for me, like as a woman, I'm really, really. We've talked about this in another episode, like when older women advise women in their 20s and 30s not to get married and not to live with a man and not to be with a man, and how much better their life was post their divorce, and all these people who have divorces and then they glow up and they take their life back and they've never been happier. Like these are things that I see all the time. The stats literally tell you that unmarried women are happier, unmarried women live longer. So I'm always, I guess, on some level, evaluating what my life could be in some hypothetical scenario that I can't even vouch for 100%. Because when I was single, I wanted that companionship. Like I have always been independent, but there was a point where I started really wanting someone to share my life with. So I know that I wanted that, but I'm always evaluating, is this thing better than what my life could have been? Is this thing worth potentially not having the joys of being a single unmarried woman who lives alone and has the full freedom of that and all the benefits that come with that? And I need to just enjoy all the things that I love about this relationship and love about being with Alex. And there's so many. There's so many. But I think it's just my anxiety kicking in at the moment and the change of it all. And I have a lot of fears around it.
Yeah.
Not about Alex, like literally just about that woman and man thing.
Yeah. And I think that's normal. I hope it's normal because I had the same thing. And they do say about like anxiety is like the fear of the future is means that you're living in the future and you should just be living in the present and taking things for what they are at that moment in time. Because I see you and Alex, and I know that there's nothing that guy will not do for you. At all.
Hmm.
So, and I know that your fears aren't about your relationship, but there is those very real stats, and you also just see it like the divorce effect trend on TikTok. They look younger, like
Yeah.
they look like
Years
all of their
taken off.
stress has just been removed from their
The
eyes.
weight of the world lifted from their shoulders. They had been going through it those years of marriage.
Yeah, it's just
And is
like
that just to say they weren't married to the right person, or is this literally just a burden that a woman takes on when they couple themselves with a man of it's inevitably going to be you taking on the coordination efforts, you being the person that I feel like women really do have a huge leadership role in relationships.
we do,
That
and we do take
yeah.
on the mental load, is what a lot of people have been talking about. Of we're the ones that think about what's finishing, like even just for the food shop, writing a
Hmm.
list for what we need to buy and putting it's small things as well, like making a house a home, putting candles in, getting the diffusers and things that you feel it as someone when
Yeah.
you're living in the house. The guy feels it too. It makes things cozier, nicer. It makes the place a better place to be in. And
Hmm.
we do think ahead and coordinate things and bring things together. I don't know who said that men are the head of the household because they're not, and they know they're not. We all know it's women.
It has to be. Surely it's women. That's all I've observed. Is that like apart from just the finishing touches to the home, like the things that make it homely, but there's the coordination, the planning, the next steps, the things that really just keep us afloat as a household, keep our connection strong with other people, other couples, other family members. I don't know. I'm just scared about getting into those patterns, and so I'm constantly watching to see how he responds to things and it's actually not how I want to live, and it's not nice. I've already evaluated him, and I chose him, and I know that I want to be with him. So it's not even about wanting to be with him. It's about contending with the reality of I am a woman with a man and what that means, or what I've seen that to mean in other relationships. I can't even say that that's what mine is because he hasn't given me any reason to think that I'm the only one going to be doing everything. I just have to be patient and wait and see and communicate through it and give him the benefit of the doubt, which I have been doing.
100%, and just live in the moments that are happening
Yeah,
at at that time, and not
yeah,
thinking 3 years down the line, or oh, and when we have kids it will be
yeah.
this. And
That's literally it. When we have
yeah.
kids, that's what I keep thinking.
Okay, so
That's what I
now
keep
I'm taking
thinking.
little Eli to football, and you haven't even done the food shop. And why isn't there chocolate spread for
Hmm.
Ellie? So
Hmm.
know these people are.
Ellie and Eli. Or I'm gonna be have to be the one to be like, Ellie's got her birthday party on this, like them the well-meaning husband who's like, oh, okay, what can I help with? How can I take the load off you? Well, Ellie's got a birthday party on Saturday, and then Eli has football practice. Why don't you know that? I don't want
Exactly.
you to come to me to be like, and what's next, and what's next, and what's happening now.
Whole
I
time there's a
don't.
calendar on the fridge.
Yeah. Right, right.
There's an
Which
iPad
I bought
on
and
the
I implemented this system so that we can all be on the same page.
exactly. And also, if we're saying that Ellie's got a birthday party, what does that mean? What does that entail? It means what's Ellie wearing? What are you getting? What present are you getting for Ellie's friend? What time does she need to be dropped and picked up? Do you need to stay? Does someone need to be there? There's so many things that one event entails. Okay, this
Hmm.
person, Eli, is going to football, and so what is he going to eat? What is
Hmm.
his kit washed? Where are his football shoes?
Exactly.
The list
There's
goes
so
on and
much
on and
to it.
on.
Right. Exactly. So you can see why it stresses me out so much.
Yeah,
But do you know what? You're right. Stay in the moment. So far, so good. Really enjoying it. It's just nice to be able to be in his company. It's nice to Alex is such a good cook. And it's just nice to be able to enjoy that as well on such a regular basis. I think once we get into the swing of things a bit more and we're more settled,
for
we'll
sh
naturally fall into like our strengths and yeah.
The days when you go into the office and you come back and you've got food, hot food ready for you. You don't have to
Oh
stand there with
gosh.
your office stuff on and with the air fryer thinking about
Oh
what
my
you're
God,
gonna eat.
literally with your bag still on your shoulder because if you
Exactly.
put that bag down, you are ordering on delivery.
Exactly. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of perks. But do you know what this just reminded me of? And it's a bit of a weird tangent. Yesterday I watched The Long Walk.
Oh yeah.
Have you watched it?
No, but Chantal was literally begging me to watch it. She's recommended it so many times. There was a screening that they did where everyone was on treadmills and they were walking throughout the whole film,
Yeah.
like doing the walk with them. And I think, and again, I could be chatting shit because I like this as a potential idea. I think they were powering the film by their walking. No, I'm probably completely making that up for a fact,
That would be
but
that would
I
be an
think they're
interesting
powering it. Yeah.
an interesting way to do things. No, but the one of the things that the character Pete said to Ray in the film was you can't think about the end. You just have to you have to think about it in moments. So just think about this current moment, getting through this moment and enjoying this moment. I guess in this context it isn't enjoying the moment, it's getting through it for them. But no, you should watch it. It's a really good film. It is a really good
Okay.
film. It's on Prime. I think.
Okay, cool.
I think it's free. I'm surprised it was already out on TV on streaming platforms. But yeah, I won't give any spoilers, but it's a good film. I think the acting is great. And
Okay.
yeah, I won't say anymore.
Lovely. I'm on it. Once we get the TV mounted,
Yes.
I'm on it. Once we get Wi-Fi, I'm there.
Oh God.
That's actually how it felt when I was living at yours. No offense, but with the end in sight of having all my things, guys, I honestly feel like the world's most vapid, like materialistic bitch because not having my things really plunged me into a dark place. And every single day that I didn't have my things felt like a lifetime. So at the start of the stretch of May, because I was at Chids for the whole of May, at the start of that May, I was like, how am I going to get through this month? How am I going to get to the end? And then I think when my focus shifted on, oh, what am I doing this weekend? Oh, what's going on day to day?
Mm.
It just started to fly by. So that's true. That's very, very true. Was there any like behaviors or habits of yours that you were scared to reveal or scared for Will to see when you first moved in together? Like, was there anything you had to soft launch or that you were a bit like hiding initially and then eventually as you got more comfortable?
That is so funny. One of the things I did say to him was, don't be alarmed or panicked, but I am horizontal a lot of the time.
Yes.
I
This is
always
mine, Chid.
is it?
As soon as we get the bed, I'm scared for him to see just how much of my time I spend in bed. Like, I'm a lazy bitch.
I love to lie down. I'm sorry. I really am sorry, but I do like to lie down. Sofa, bed,
Hmm. Hmm.
floor. I'm sorry. I'll go on the floor.
Get me
Anywhere.
lying down. Get me lying down, and I don't mind where that is. No, seriously,
Yeah,
I love being in bed. I love eating snacks in bed and watching things in bed. I love reading in bed. I just love that place. I
seriously.
love getting, but you know what? I don't like lying in. I
Yeah.
don't like being in bed in the morning. I want to get out, brush my teeth, have a cup of tea, start my day, and then by midday I want to be back in that bed.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Another one is I love my phone and I won't be shamed for it. My screen time is a joke and I like it like that.
Literally,
Sometimes
I'll be brushing my teeth with my left hand scrolling on TikTok.
I've got the Octo buddy on my phone, and so when I'm in the shower, it's stuck there. I'm sorry, it's listening to a podcast, so that's long form. At least maybe that helps my attention span. But I'm like, yeah, I want to listen to the rest of politics while I'm showering, and they've got a visual, it's visual, so I want
Hmm.
to see it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that was another one where I was like the opposite of Will, where Will always likes doing stuff. He's very active, or he's always doing so. He's always in something, doing something, and also he's not on his phone that much. He's not on TikTok. He
Mm.
doesn't really use
He's not
Instagram.
on social media at all, is
He's
he?
not on social media, so it
Yeah.
is very different to me. Another one that's very very different to me. Oh gosh, I sound like the maths love experts putting us together.
But you do both like tiramisu.
There you go.
There
He
you go.
he is so good with money and he's very financially
Right.
literate
Yeah.
and smart with his money. Whereas I am so frivolous. I love to spend. I've only recently started budgeting, and when I say budgeting, I mean looking at my budget spreadsheet and then
Hmm.
putting it down for another few
Yeah.
months.
I've only recently
So
started checking my bank account
I
before payday.
go.
That's the scariest thing you
That's
can
a
do.
very scary sight. And then, so coming back from TK Maxx or going for a walk, and my walk means I'm going to a shop or I'm going to
Hmm.
look at things. Whereas, yeah, he's going for a nature walk. I want to go to somewhere to look at things and then come back. So there was a lot of that. And then another thing is just how much I like things my particular way. I think he already knew
Mm,
that about me because obviously we have been going out for however many years before we moved in. But I think when you live with someone, you see it a lot more. Things that you
yeah.
already knew about them, you
Small
see it
details.
exactly. It's like a magnifying glass. You see it in full 4K. So yeah, those were a few of the ones. But I'm a
So at what
catch.
point did you at what point did you start revealing those things, or did it start becoming obvious? How long into living together?
So the horizontal one, I gave a warning because I knew that I had to do it straight away. I have to be me.
Day one, yeah. Day one,
Yeah,
I've got to lie down. I've got to. Especially after spending 2 days unpacking. Listen.
exactly. Hello, I've got to be me. I think the one that took the longest to reveal was the spending situation and the particularness. I think at
So wait, I
first,
get I get with the spending thing, like I get that there's shame around that, but why did the being particular, why was
because
that something that you were conscious of?
it feels, I didn't want it to feel like I was being his mum, his teacher, or military
Oh, I see.
personnel. Like it felt
I
like
see.
you've just done a big clean of the kitchen, but well, why haven't you cleaned the screen with this? And actually, you're supposed to use this cloth for that, and this is the spray for this particular appliance, and the microwave
Mm,
needs to be cleaned every 2 days, ideally for me, because
mhm.
if we're using
The
it that
smells.
frequently, the smells,
The
and then
smells. I don't like, sorry to interrupt, but
no, go on.
I don't like having something savory that was heated up, something savory and saucy that was heated up in the microwave, and they may not be physical splatters, but it still smells like that thing. And then you go and heat up one like sweet thing or something with the clashing flavor. I feel like it's taken on the air
Hmm.
and the atmosphere of the thing that was heated up before. So I hear you with that.
Completely, because now your brownie smells like bolognese,
Right,
and I
exactly.
don't want that. I completely agree with
Mm-mm.
it.
Or I would have put bolognese in my brownie if I wanted that.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, I think it's just that thing of I don't want the dynamic to be that I'm this person just telling you what to do, or this nag that's like you've done
Yeah, a
something but
bit
you haven't done
controlling.
it right. Yeah, quote unquote,
Yeah.
in my way. Oh, right, in my way, sorry. So I think that was the one where I was just like, and then I just started being like, no, you know me and you know my heart.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna just be me fully and be
Yeah,
the bossy
exactly.
person I am.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
and also Will's good at adapting to things. As soon as I say it, I see the change quite quickly. So it's not like it didn't end up being a thing that I was nagging. It was I'd say it
Mm,
once and then I don't have to say it again, which is really nice.
yeah, which is what you want.
Yeah.
I think the money one is your prerogative as a woman. Sorry. I think it's good to have, I think one person in the couple needs to be financially responsible and hold it down for the other person to enjoy spending on the things that is going to bring joy to the household. Because even when it's things that's just for the one person, my joy is your joy. And just to clarify, I sound like such a misandrist throughout this whole episode. But just to clarify, the one person that needs to be financially responsible versus the one that can enjoy their lives, the responsible one has to be the man. Sorry to say, it has to be the man, and it's got to all enable freedom and fluidity on for the women. Sorry, and take it with a pinch of salt when I speak like this because obviously I
She's
know
just
people can be weird.
joking.
Yeah, like I'm saying it playfully, but there's some dynamics that I've seen that work and some that don't. How can you be a man spending all my money?
Have you seen those clips of the couples that are in therapy?
Uh, oh
What are
my
you doing?
God. I thought you were gonna say the sunflower who's been everywhere lately, and I'm loving her. I'm loving her whole the tide is turning and people aren't hating her anymore. I think she's great. But you were talking about blue therapy, was it? Is
I
it blue
don't think
therapy?
it's blue therapy. It's the one with that woman that's like, it's not blue therapy. I can't
Oldish.
remember. I can't remember what it's called.
And there's that couple who he did he gamble away all her money? No, he's just put
Um,
them all in debt. What was the situation?
yeah, she was a lot more financially well off than he was, and he went into debt because he wanted to appear like he was more than her. So he went into debt and got a better car than her because she had an Audi Q3, and he saw that and was like,
Oh
"Oh, this is
yes.
embarrassing. Like, I need to make sure I get my money up." And now she's helping him pay off the debts that he got into, trying to appear more rich than her. I think it's just
Crazy.
called couples therapy on TikTok. And there's so many clips that have come out of that that just make me so angry just watching them because, yeah, it's not looking good for them.
The thing is, like, yeah, I guess I don't know what that would feel like as a man. But is it a necessity that they have to earn more? I don't think so. I think as long as you're financially aware and sensible, and I like it where someone brings financial knowledge to the table and they can be like, okay, well, I may not be earning more, but I've invested this thing, or if you open this account, it gives you this benefits. This is how I manage my money, and I'm very deliberate. Like, I think those things are more important than simply earning more.
A
Because if
hundred
you earn
percent.
more and you're just blowing it all the time, that is extremely unattractive too, and not the kind of man that you want to trust your family with
100%. It's more
or trust
valuable.
with your family. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more valuable. It's like the teaching a man to fish thing rather than just having the
Hmm.
fish because there are so many people that may earn less than me or similar to me and have way more than me in terms of assets and
Yeah.
investments and
Yeah.
just pensions and all of that sort of stuff because they just have a lot more knowledge around it. Whereas I'm just like, okay, I don't know what's in TK Maxx this week. I need to go and see. So that's the bit. And another thing that made me made me hide that money thing side of things is because Will was the person I would talk to and confide in, cry and talk about I don't have money, talk about I need to
Hmm.
get better at like saving and not feeling money anxiety. And then him living with me, he'll hear all of that. And then I'm coming back with shopping bags. Or there's so many deliveries through the door every day, and it's just not adding up. So
I sent you that TikTok of the girl showing her text messages to her boyfriend, between her and her boyfriend about money. And one of them, she's just like, I'm so stressed, I'm so upset, I can't stop crying, I feel so bad. I feel like so stressed about money. And then the next one would be her in a changing room, like trying on clothes, being like, do you like this one? And it
couldn't
was just
relate.
that, like
Well,
so many screenshots of that. It's killing me. But it's so annoying with men though, like when you mention something to them and you're just talking, like you're just offloading, you're just letting them know how you feel about something, and then they hold you to it.
oh,
Like if you mention that you want to start going to the gym, you're feeling insecure about your body, and then they're like, "Did you go to the gym today?"
the worst
The
one.
next day, and it's like, "Wait, we
Oh,
were just
you're
having a conversation. Why are you now coming to me with this energy when we were just chatting? I was just telling you about how I feel, and now you're holding me to something that I said when I was feeling low."
now you're inviting me to your gym session at 7:30 in the morning.
No, no, I don't want to come with you. It's
Be
so
so
early.
real. Be so for real. Seriously.
So yeah, the money
Yeah.
thing is the money thing is crazy because actually I had to buy that to feel better because I feel like shit right now. So
Exactly.
this is the thing that's gonna help me.
And now when I'm wearing it to this dinner or this birthday party or this outing, you're telling me how hot I am. You're
Right,
telling me how
here's the
good
other
I
thing.
look.
Exactly. So
So
we're
now
both
you're
enjoying it.
benefiting. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, guys, wish me luck with this move. I'm really excited to start enjoying it properly. But it's the unpacking. I'm so, so scared. In fact, you're just across the road, so I might call you in for your
Let me
services.
just say, I feel like the unpacking process is a process that everyone needs to go through. The people that live
Mm,
there need to really
mm.
do it because I don't know where you want your spice cupboard. I don't know where you want
I'll tell
your
you,
bedside
it's
table.
the one closest to the worktop. I'll show you which one. Don't worry.
I need to wash my hair.
No, but I do need an IKEA trip at some point, so I don't know if it's you or Ek who will join for that one.
That sounds like an eck thing. I want to
I can't.
come, but I don't want to drive and wait around. You know me. I get impatient.
Yeah, you've got to grow up from it.
Yeah,
You've
but
got
it's not
to.
about that. It's
It is. We all have to improve as life goes on. It's not about I'm just not impatient. I'm just not patient, and you just stay like that. It's these experiences that will teach you patience when you come to IKEA with me and what I'm and ahhing over which which bedside tables to get. And I also want to go to B&M and I also want to go to Home Sense and I want to hit all three in one day.
But
The patience will, it's a muscle, you exercise it.
do you know what's annoying about the B&M and the Home Sense and the IKEA? It's not all in one retail park. And the thing
Yeah.
about these types of trips, I need to go into IKEA 3 times. I need to go into B&M twice. You need to look at them all first and then compare
Mhm.
where you want to get the certain
The bath
items.
mats from versus where you're gonna get the
Yeah.
coffee table from versus where you're getting all your extra little bits. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
So by the time we do all three trips, you'll really have learnt patience.
yeah, my patience will be amazing.
But also with these trips is you are so hungry and tired and every single like bodily need you have suddenly you need to do it at that point. You need to pee, you're hot, you're hungry, you're tired, your legs hurt, your back hurts. And that's after going to the first shop.
Hmm.
So you actually also have to order them in terms of priority. The first place you need to go to needs to be first up. And then second is for additional bits. And third is just to have a browse. And then if something takes your fancy, you go and you can take or leave the third place.
Hmm.
Actually, that's more like the fourth place. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of planning and thinking that needs to go into that if you want to have a really effective trip to these retail parks. God, I love me a retail park.
I do love a retail park, to be fair. I do end
Yeah,
up spending a lot of money there.
same. What was your signal this week? We didn't actually touch on signal check.
Oh my God. Yeah, what's my signal? Oh,
Shabazz.
I'm 4 bars, which is full bars because we had the best time at the parade and we
Oh
locked
my God.
eyes with all of the Arsenal players on the bus. It
All
was
the
so
Arsenal
good.
players looked at us. Yeah, it was amazing. It was such an amazing experience. Arsenal fans, best vibe ever. It was just such a great day.
Mm,
And it was just a really cool thing to experience. When the bus came down the street through the red mist, I was like, is this a dream?
so surreal. When I put that on my Instagram story, everyone was like, hang on, why are you guys first, second row? Why are you at the
Yeah, we were
barricades?
barriers. Yeah, we were barriers. I don't know how we ended up there. Even there was this guy that was literally standing in front of me. He must have been like 6'10".
Yeah.
He was so tall. And I was literally there like, I'm behind a paywall. I am behind a paywall. He turned around and he was laughing. And then suddenly we were like shoulder to shoulder, like further down. He was like, how have you guys gotten so close? I was like, listen, you get what you want when you're popping.
Exactly that. Exactly that. So yeah, definitely. What about you? What's your bars?
Yeah, I think I'm full bars too. This weekend was so good that returning back to work this week has been tough. Like almost didn't feel like I had to. It felt like it was an optional thing, like a bank holiday almost. Don't know where I got that feeling. So that's been a bit tough. But I have a short week this week, so I've got leave to sort out all my stuff. So I'm really looking forward to being unpacked and settled. So that's putting me in a great spot.
For speaker, I actually have another drink. Pineapple daiquiri from M&S. Oh my
The
God,
smoked
that little
pineapple.
can. That was the first time I tried
Delish.
it. 14%
So good.
alcohol, so delicious, really, really, really nice. And yeah, I just had 2 of that and I was on a great vibe.
That's all you need. Yeah. It was used to be one of mine and Alex's picnic drinks when we get M&S picky bits. For me, I've got no speaker this week. Let me sort out my things first before I encourage people to buy more.
Exactly. Fair enough. Well, thank you all for listening and we'll tune in next time.
Yes, follow us on Stay on the Line Sis on Insta and TikTok, and feel free to email us at stayonthelinesis@gmail.com.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.